friends, I am back, sort of. I wanted to make that American sitcom video. So that's what this is. A video about modern American sitcoms from a pretentious film student who graduated almost a year ago and hasn't professionally written anything yet. Cool. So yeah, that's where this information is coming from. My brain, and my school, and how I process information from school, through my brain, and also how I processed information from the internet, and filtered it through school, and then filtered it through my brain. So let's talk about modern American sitcoms, shall we? First things first, something I didn't know until I was in college taking a television writing class, because I'm obviously very lethargic about something I care about, is that sitcom, as a phrase, stands for situational comedy. That's it. But there are a couple of different, very distinct types of sitcoms, 3, in fact, that are really prevalent in American television and in American culture. Second thing second, is that all shows, not just sitcoms, but all shows, and I'd wager all films as well, but all shows take place in one of 2 franchises. They either take place in the home or outside of the home, and outside of the home usually is work or school, and in the home just means that it is a family show. So within those 2 different franchises of American television, specifically American sitcoms, there are 3 main types of sitcoms that are really prevalent and that still exist in modern American television. The first kind is your typical multi-camera sitcom, which is the kind of sitcom that if I say the word sitcom, you will probably think of, which is that it has either a laugh track or that it's filmed in front of a live studio audience, but it has an accompanying laugh, which a lot of people don't like, I usually do not like, and is kind of being phased out as CBS is one of the only broadcast networks of the 5 to still actually air a lot of them, and a lot is, I believe, less than 5. So, what makes multi-camera sitcoms different than other types of sitcoms, other than the extra audio track? I'm so glad you asked, even though you didn't. Usually, there are 1 or 2 main sets that are built and that are on a lot. On those sets, you usually have 4 cameras that are all shooting different angles, but towards the center of the set. So you will never turn around to see where the audience is, because that's where the audience is, and that's not how you shoot multi-camera sitcoms. You will never get a 360 kind of turn with the camera, because there's an audience there. Multi-camera sitcoms are often also, especially older sitcoms, filmed in higher frame rates. I think because it was cheaper, but I actually don't know why. One of the big differences is that most of the humor on multi-camera sitcoms is really joke-based, which is why I think even though there aren't as many, they're still really, really popular, because joke-based humor as opposed to character-based humor is way more accessible to the general public. Also, a lot of multi-camera sitcoms are episodic, which means that you can kind of jump in wherever you want, and because it is joke-based instead of character-based, it is way easier for it to be episodic. So you can jump in, laugh, 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 because you don't actually have to know who the characters are in order to make the humor work or work really, really well. Some examples of multi-camera sitcoms, in case you're still wondering, are like Two Broke Girls or The Big Bang Theory. Older would be I Love Lucy, was one of the first really big filmed in front of a live studio audience kind of multi-camera sitcoms. And How I Met Your Mother is also a multi-camera sitcom. Technically. It's sort of a hybrid, because it was not filmed in front of a live studio audience. It did have a laugh track. It did, because of the nature of the type of story, did a lot of non-traditional multi-camera things. I don't understand why it was a multi-camera. I think it should have been single camera! What a great segue into talking about single camera sitcoms. So single camera sitcoms are shot with a single camera. Who'da thunk it? It's like we named things so accurate. They are shot like most hour-long television or films. The humor in single-camera sitcoms is more character-based, and it is more serialized, more often serialized as a show. I also think that because it's shot single-camera like an hour of television or like film, it's way easier to manipulate the kind of storytelling and the way in which you're telling the specific stories of the characters. You can do anything that film can do. Most comedy shows that you're probably watching right now are single camera. The third and final really prevalent style of sitcom in American television is the animated sitcom. Most animated sitcoms that are made now are more serialized than episodic. However, they have episodic elements to them, which kind of makes them the perfect balance between the two. They're also the perfect balance, I think, of character-based humor and joke-based humor. Animated sitcoms are mostly drawn like single-camera sitcoms, which is just, whoa, the bee's knees to me. I don't know if it's that exciting to you, but it's real exciting to me because there are also a few outliers that are drawn to my memory, like multi-camera sitcoms. Like Space Ghost Coast to Coast was a talk show, so it was kind of mostly drawn like a multi-camera sitcom, and it was great. I love animated sitcoms. I think that they're outstanding, and they've been really good for a really long time. Like, I rewatched all of Home Movies really recently. It still holds up. It's really good. And of course, Bob's Burgers and Archer are outstanding, and yes, H. John Benjamin was in all three of those, and that's probably part of it, but animated sitcoms are really good, and they are the third most prevalent type of American sitcom that we have today, which is just a really lovely thing. It just is. Anyway, that was a short crash course in American sitcoms. You just became a little bit smarter / knowledgeable? You decide. But one of those things is something you just became. So congratulations. And I will talk to you guys again before I move to Atlanta. And I will talk more about that the next time I make another video. Peace out, Cub Scouts.